Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another movie review. So we have another movie from Lifetime, and it's called The Suitcase Killer, the Melanie Mcguire story, which is based on a true story. So it starts off with the girl Melanie and this guy Bill. They work at like a diner, and then she also has a best friend named Selena that works there, or Celine that works there. And um they're getting their orders together to serve the customers that come in there. And Bill, I guess he's an attractive guy. He catches Melanie's eye, and Celine was like trying to tell her, like, listen, try to stay clear of him because he seems like a player. And Melanie was like, listen, I'm a big girl, I can handle it. At first, she saw him, he was talking to some other girl. But eventually they were like, guess, hooked up. And they started, talking here and there. They will be chilling with each other. Then eventually they started going out on dates. And then I guess as a few months passed and whatever, they, moved in together. And, they got engaged. So as they're moved in, I think, into her house, and then they were both planning on getting a house of their own together. So eventually they got married, and I think when she got married, she was pregnant. So she ended up having two boys. So she had two boys with him. So she became Melanie Mcguire. And yeah, that's when she started noticing that Bill had a gambling problem. And then she was like, well, from my understanding to real life, the movie doesn't quite depict how he was in real life, because he's supposed to be a computer tech programmer, but they never show him in the movie working at his job. Or maybe they did, I just didn't think nothing of it. Yeah, they actually, know what, they did. Let me not stop lying, they did. And they also worked together at part-time as a waitress at a diner. So yeah, once they got married and they're living in Melanie's house, Melanie notices that Bill has a gambling problem. And he's basically, and the crazy thing is, one of their dates, he took her to a casino, and she was kind of standoffish, like how he's still spending his time at the what would you call that? At the poker table. And he lost like $5,000. And then she eventually got tired and was like, listen, I'm going to go to I think they went there to the honeymoon. I'm going to go upstairs to go lay down. And he was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. And she was steadily watching him. And she assumed that he didn't have no more money to play. And as he watched her leave to go upstairs, he pulled out a wad of cash and was talking to some other girl. Like, you didn't even let your wife go upstairs good enough before you start going back to your old ways. But, Melanie played it off and was like, listen, I think they're probably just overreacting. I think I know my husband. And it's just like, when your gut's telling you something, go with it. Don't try to steer it wrong, because in the end, you're the one that's going to be looking retarded and stupid because you didn't trust your instincts from get-go. And then you had your friends telling you the same thing, and you thought they was in the wrong, and they probably wanted your relationship, but in the end, that's not what happened. So eventually, they're married. Slowly down the line, she works as a nurse at a fertility clinic. She ends up falling in love with the doctor. They started hitting it off. Mind you, they both married, so they both cheating in their relationship. And they're hooking up at the hospital, doing what they do. I'm surprised nobody caught them. And, you know, Bill is still gambling away money. Eventually, Melanie gets a notice talking about how she has some money removed from their account. And he was like, blah, 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 you do you and not do me. As long as we got money coming in, it shouldn't be a problem. So eventually, Bill and Melanie started to drift apart, and Bill is now cheating on her with some girl named Danny. So one night, he comes home, and she's doing the bills or whatever, and I guess she's looking at houses so that they can move into a bigger house. She ended up seeing this paper on her desk with her files of paperwork from the job, and it's a girl's name that says Danny Day Cruz and the phone number. So she didn't think nothing of it. She just put it to the back of the pile, continuing working on her paperwork and also looking at more houses. So she goes to work, I think the next day or a couple of days later. The girl goes into the office for fertility treatment, and she starts talking about her relationship with her boyfriend. And on the paper, her chart says Danielle. But she was like, yeah, my name is Danielle, but everybody calls me Danny. She didn't think nothing of it. So she was like, Melanie was like, as she was leaving, she was like, Danny De Cruz? She was like, yeah. She done got the mistress. And this was like, but she played it cool because, you know, she was screwing the doctor. So it was like, I'm not going to say nothing. You don't say nothing. But I don't think that Danny knew that she was seeing the doctor or whatever. So basically, yeah, it is what it is. And, you know, she basically just kept all the information she had to herself. Instead of telling somebody about it, she was just like, I'm going to handle it my own way. So one night came. She's all dressed. Oh, they also got the offer for the new house. So they was getting ready to move and pack up and move into the new house. So I think it was one night, a few days before they were about to move. She's dressed nicely in this all strapped black strapless black dress. And Bill's on the couch, you know, winding down, watching the show. And she brings him some champagne, but she spiked it with some drugs inside. And she was like, listen, I just want to, you know, congratulate us on getting ready to move into our new house. I know you're excited and I'm excited and I just can't wait to move in. Blah, blah, blah. So he ended up drinking a drink and he's passed out on the couch. Next thing you know, she has a pillow. She shoots him. And yeah, then she takes him into the bathroom. She starts cutting him up into pieces. And then she stuffs him into 3 suitcases. And then in the middle of the night, she basically got rid of them in different locations here and there. And then it was like a few days later, I think she called the police saying that her husband was missing. Supposedly he went into town with his mistress. And everybody's not buying the story because if that was the case, you would have been saying something like, oh, he's cheating on me, to make your story more believable. But whatever. So eventually, people find the suitcases washed up on the beach. This one girl, she was walking with a metal detector, and she sees this suitcase just washed up on the beach. And she goes to look inside to see what's in it, and she sees a hand. Eventually, they call the police. That's how the investigation got going. And, you know, they always say when it's a murder, it's always somebody close to home. In this instance, but, you know, she was, you know, found the suspect in his murder, but she's very adamant that she did not murder her husband, and they took her to trial. At first, she got arrested, and then the kids were put into, put with social services, so basically her own parents couldn't take their grandchildren. So, lo and behold, they went to trial. She kept saying she was innocent. And, you know, they found her guilty. And his younger sister, which was named Cindy, this is basically the aunt that nobody really knew about. Bill's younger sister, she basically gets custody of the boys. So basically, their grandparents that they grew up with is no longer, like, in their lives, from my understanding. And they live with their aunt, and probably his other side of the family gets to bond with their nephews, because it's crazy. Mind you, you just met this man not too long ago. Y'all end up getting engaged, and then y'all get married, and then y'all have the children, and then it's just like, dang, time went by fast. And the boys looked no more than about 4 and 3 years old, 5 and 4, whatever the case. But they looked like they were under 5, because they went to like this preschool, so they were really, really young, just that quick. But yeah, it's crazy. You got to be careful. Trust your instincts. Like, your gut would never steer you wrong. If you have this feeling that you know something's up, or you know something seems out of place, just go with it. Because in the end, you're going to end up doing something that you're not supposed to do. You're going to be going to jail, or you're going to be, murdered yourself. So it's like, be careful. Like, feel people out. Don't just be so quick to jump in a relationship. Try to get married for the title. Anything for a title. Don't try to rush it, because when you rush things, look what happens. You either getting murdered yourself, or you going to jail for that person's murder. So it's like, take your time. Don't rush things. Have a plan. Have a backup plan. If you don't like the way things are going, just call it quits. Take a break. Find yourself. And then try to regroup and come back to it. If not, then it's just deuces. Okay? So, guys, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this movie review of Lifetime movie Suitcase Killer, the Melanie Mcguire story based on a true story. Yes, I also Googled it, and I was just like, wow. And this happened in New Jersey. Yeah, Woodbridge, New Jersey. Very close to home. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.